We live. Are we live? Are we live? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with us back at the press conference, which is really not a party, and what closes with us at a party? Whoop, whoop. If you guys the Real Housewives of Potomac, meme your own business. Look, I was trying to fan in my my thumbnail party. But the fan didn't really work. It just looked weird. But that's what that was. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you for the likes. Welcome in. I like that show. We're working on 1,000 subscribers. I got distracted. But let us proceed with this recap and review of The Real Housewives of Potomac. The one that just came on tonight. Is it episode 3? I think it's episode 3. So we are back at the conference where we left off at the end of last episode. The Drecitude, what did he say is dreadful? Who has a press conference with no press? I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I need a moderator, I guess, on the line. I don't know. It's good. It's good. So we're back at the press conference with no press. And the Green-Eyed Sisters are cross-talking. Yay! I'll keep the trolls out. That would be me. The Green-Eyed Sisters are cross-talking about leaving. And then Giselle, now I was kind of like, I'm glad that when Giselle came in that she had her jacket on. But Giselle made a point of taking off her jacket so that Karen could say that she had ironed on her shirt. On the back of the shirt, free Uncle Ben, tax reform, and other mean things. I didn't think they were funny at all. I don't know what kind of woman Giselle is. Now she's kind of funny in a way on TV, but who would want to be friends with her? Yuck. It's not I don't know. Maybe it's cute in person and it just doesn't read as cute in real life. So anyway, Monique is like, kind of surprised. She's like, dang, she came here to clown and you look like a clown. That's what she's saying about Giselle with her, little iron-on t-shirt. And then Karen goes, and it's like some back and forth, and Karen goes and confronts Giselle, and Giselle is like, well, you can't take a joke, it says the one in the camo jumpsuit. Now, I personally have enjoyed Karen's jumpsuits this season. I think that she has a nice body. We don't know whether she is 50 years old, or some people say she's 70 years old, but I feel like she got it and she want to flaunt it. She looked good in it. I would never wear a jumpsuit, but maybe when I get older, I will. I never wear bodycon stuff really, but, I feel like I should, because shoot, the longer you wait, the less of a body you have. But she looks good. And I like the camo jumpsuit. I like the little Adidas jumpsuit. I'm like, go on, girl. But, Giselle was giving her shade about, hey, Rowdy Chica 59, a moderator. So Karen goes to her car, Giselle follows her, and she's like, oh, I guess we can't joke with Karen. And then basically Karen is like, I'm not playing with those green-eyed batches. And somebody told me last week that she was saying batches, not biatches. I was trying to clean it up, but she's already clean. She's calling them batches. And that's new. I've never called anyone a batch before. But I don't really call people B-I-T-C-H's either. But maybe I'll start calling people batches. But anyway, we see Chris and Candace in bed. Candy Ace, she's our new housewife. And Chris, now somebody said that they thought her fiance, well, we know by the end of this episode that he's white. I thought he was white when we met him. But somebody is like, he's light skinned. I'm like, okay, because he looks white. But, there's no accounting for, people's identity. You can't always tell just to look at them, how they identify, because I thought he was white. He's white. And she says she's always been blessed financially and Chris has not. And if her mom had had her way, then she'd be married to a black doctor. And she says that he lets her be kooky her. And she pushed him to, Oh, the skin tone of the memes and stuff. Oh. Um so they so he said, oh, so we find out that she says that she pushed him, to own the restaurant. I wonder what restaurant he owns. People were clowning him in the reviews. They were like, he doesn't seem like someone who will work in a restaurant, like a really nice restaurant, or like a Michelin 5-star restaurant. He seems like someone who would work at TGI Fridays. And I'm like, dang. I mean, they was just kind of going on. But he owns a restaurant, so it makes me kind of curious about his restaurant. Want to find it and Google it and at least look at the menu and see if they have sparkling water. That's always my secret to determining if a restaurant is a real restaurant. If they don't have sparkling water, I feel like they're not a real restaurant. They're just faking the funk. I don't really care what else is on their menu. It's fake. And that he has supported her in having her own hairline. So do we know that she had a hairline? I didn't know she had a hairline. So she has a hair care line. So that's kind of exciting. I like a woman, who has a business, and, I like a woman who has a business, I guess. So then we see Monique, and she is having nanny issues. Ashley is coming by to visit, and these two young women have really bonded because they're both young. That's what Ashley says, that they're both young and they've really bonded. And Monique's little baby girl is so cute with her little braids and just them big old eyes, and she just so cute. She's so cute. And we find out that Monique is throwing an all-white t-shirt party. I never heard of an all-white t-shirt party. She said that her husband's favorite attire is a white t-shirt, so she's throwing an all-white t-shirt party. I never heard of an all-white t-shirt party. And that Chris's mom, there's no word from Chris's mom since his mom called her a heifer. Or since it's aired, not since he called her a heifer, but since they saw on TV that he called her a heifer, because that she called her, that the mama called the daughter-in-law a heifer, because she had already called her a heifer, but we just saw it all on TV together, and apparently that's when they knew what had happened too. And then we find out that Ash has been having family issues, and she's been paying her mom's rent. Now, I was surprised because I thought that they had purchased a home for her mom. So I don't know, I was like, oh, they're paying her rent. I don't know what kind of money Ashley's older white husband has, but it kind of like annoyed me and got on my nerves that, they had not purchased a house, that they were renting a house for her mother, and that her mother is in this precarious situation. Like, the whole thing seems kind of messy, like the more you get into it, the messier it seems. But, I just feel like if it had been me and I had money and I was a man, I'd be like, look, I'm going to buy this house for your mama, or we going to buy this house for your mama, and then we out of it. If she got mess and confusion going on, she going to have to work that out. But I feel like to rent it, I didn't care for that. But I'm not in their pocket, so I don't know what's going on. But they've been paying her rent, but when they started paying her rent, it was under the stipulation that she would leave the man that she was dealing with. And it's like she'd been dealing with the man for 15 years, so I'm kind of like, usually if you've been with someone for 15 years or for 15 days or 15 months or 15 seconds, it's because you're getting something out of it. So I'm like, if her mother has been with this man for 15 years, how y'all gonna tell her to leave him? It don't seem like she want to leave him. And so she was supposed to they were going to pay her rent as long as she threw the man out. And I just feel like telling grown people how to handle their relationships, that's a lot to me. Monique, who would you choose? Monique asked her, well, who would you choose, your hubby or your family? And I thought that was a really interesting question, because for those of us who have been married, it's kind of like your husband or your wife is your family. So I'm like, how is she separating her husband from her family? But then we already know, we learned last season, that he has made it quite clear that she can take her 6 dresses, which he threw on the bed, and told her that she could get out of his house. So she very quickly went from being what I thought was family to just some skank that can get out on the street, So, and when you marry, and you get divorced, or, it's like, but your mama is always your mama. your sisters are always your sisters. Your brothers are always your brothers. But your husband could become a husband, so but I still thought it was interesting that Ashley phrased it that way, because does she consider her husband to be family, or I don't know. And then Ash is like basically like, well, that's my mom, so that's her mom, like what else can we say? Like, that's her mother. I mean, you have to, I don't know. I feel like you'd have to almost be a monster to not do everything you could for your mama. But I'm just saying, I mean, I know people have different situations. But meanwhile, the women are by the pool and they're waiting for Miss Candace to show up. And they're shading Candace, because I guess that Ashley is a pageant girl or a pageant woman or whatever. And she was in the Miss World, Miss USA conference. And then this child was in the Miss United States conference. So they say, we don't know what it is. We got to try to figure out. We don't know what she was in, what pageant she was in. And then in comes Candace, and they take off their layers down to their swimsuits. And then they're in swimsuits and smoking cigars. Yuck. But anyway, they're smoking cigars. And then Candace is talking about her mom, and Monique talks about Chris's party and describes the ladies to Candace. And she says that Robin is married to Juan. And then Ashley uses her hat to hide her face under the hat. And then Ashley is like, I have no issue with Robin. But then we see a flashback of Giselle here recently, since Giselle and Ashley are supposed to be such good friends. We see a flashback of Giselle at lunch with Ashley. And she's like, well, how do you feel about Robin? Because Robin don't like you. Messy. Giselle is not. She might be a nice person in real life, but she sure don't play one on TV. I'm like, who does that and why? And then we see, we find out, or we're reminded, I didn't even remember, that Robin has issues with Monique. So I couldn't figure out what were Robin's issues with Monique. I think it was because Monique had said that the Grand Dame spends time with people like Robin, because the Grand Dame can be superior to people like Robin because Robin is broke. And Robin took offense to her saying that she was less than. I remember now, I've forgotten. But and then they shade Karen's age, and they say, one of them is like, well, she's my mom's age. And then somebody else is like, well, what age is she going by now? 53. And I think that the internet says she's 53, but other people say she's 70. And I'm like, that woman does not look 70. And my mother is like, well, she looks like she had some work done, and that makes her look older. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how, if somebody had just asked me out of the blue, how old is Karen? I don't know how old I would think she is, but 70? Now, my mother is basically 70, and my mother don't look 70. I mean, I don't even know what 70, yes, work. She's had work. You can get this work. So Monique, okay, so we see that. And then we learn that Karen and we see Karen with her daughter Raven. Raven is in her 3rd year of college. When we met Raven, I guess that's about right, because she was going off to college her 1st year. So they're going to get for spa treatment and all of that kind of stuff. And then there's kind of like a moment where Karen is checking in with her daughter to see how she's handling all of the stuff, with the money and the tax problems and all of that, and it being so public. And it's kind of embarrassing. I don't know if the child feels embarrassed, but I could see how she would. And then Raven is like, it's stressful, and she cries. And her mother is like, she comforts her in a way, but then she's also like, well, you got to be strong for your daddy. And I kind of feel like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like, I think that, the child is under stress, and the child should be allowed to be under stress. And she says you have to be strong for your daddy, and you have to take notes of this situation, because basically this is how life be sometime, And I can understand that, in a way. I mean, I don't think you should just be, just like on the street screaming and hollering, but I think you should also have, her child should also have a soft place to fall into, like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed out, where she's safe to do that. Even if, okay, baby, but then we got to get you together, because when you go out into the world, the situation is just, but I just kind of felt like it was kind of dry, but I don't know. Because again, editing and TV, and we don't know. We see Janelle, and she is shopping with her friend Cal, and we find out that she's going to the Hamptons for her Every Hue Beauty. And she said she didn't think it was going to be such a big hit so fast. So have you tried Every Hue Beauty? Do you love it? And she says she loves making money and paying her taxes, her business taxes, unlike the Hugers. That's just so mean. Even if she had just said, I love making money and paying my taxes. But even saying that would have been mean. Like, it's just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary, Miss Giselle. It's just unnecessary. And we find out, she's not going to Monique's husband's 40th party because they probably still ain't cool. And she says, well, I'm going to the Hamptons and there's no competition. I don't want to be at no janky white t-shirt party. I'm just so excited about going to the Hamptons. And I guess she's shopping for clothes for the Hamptons. And she says that Sherman will not get, I guess they're talking about Sherman. And she's like, well, Sherman would not get anything better than this. And I'm kind of like, okay, I guess. I don't know. You so mean. I guess he thinks that's cute. Or he just likes the way she looks. Or maybe she's a nicer person in real life than I hope she's a nicer person in real life than she comes across. So she said, Sherman can't get no better than her. And I'm like, if you say so. And then Giselle gives the best summary of Karen's press conference. I thought it was funny. I didn't get it, but it was a good little summary. And then Giselle continues with her assertion that she was just joking with the free Uncle Ben and tax reform iron-on t-shirt that she made for the press conference. So we're at Robin's place, and they have a lot of stuff in the garage from the last house, and Robin is talking about how we're so much happier in this place, just me and you, Juan, and we're just so happy. We're so much happier in this place, and yay. And Juan is like, my uniform. He not paying her no mind. I don't know if it's the editing, but she just keeps looking like really foolish, like he's not into you like that. And then he's kind of like, he realizes what happened or how it looks or whatever. And then Robin is like, well, I wish that, when you were in the NBA that I was doing something to contribute to the family. And, I'm sorry that, the business deal that I got us into with our friend, caused us to lose money. And she's basically apologizing. And Juan is like, okay, you apologizing, but I know it wasn't your fault. So, that's cool. Their money got stolen. And I guess she was the lead person in it. But we find out that Robin is flipping houses. Now, last season, for some reason, I thought that Robin was in the public relations business. See, I would like to see more, like, maybe that was just like some euphemism for I don't have a job, so I'm going to say I do PR. Because I was kind of curious, like, well, what does she do in public relations? And then when certain things came up, I was like, oh, that's because she's in PR. But, I don't know. But now we find out that she's flipping houses. I hope we get to see, like, more of the women doing their career things, too. Especially her, because I really don't like to see her with Juan. That whole situation is just not, I don't like it. And she says she never wants to be broke again. And she wants him to go to Monique's husband's party with her. And Juan is like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And then he tells her, when she's like, well, I need you there for support or whatever. He's like, well, if they clowning you, then they clowns. And if they trying to demean you, then they trying to demean you. But just be strong. And I got your back from way back over here with my real girlfriend or whoever, wherever. I got your back way back where I'm doing what I want to do. And what I want to do is not be hanging out with you. Then we see Candace with two folks, Candice, right? And she's at a bridal gown shop and with her mom and her sister, and her mom wants something sleek and lace, and Candace wants a ball gown. So, we have the setup of her mother being very there being tension between her and her mother being very opinionated and very strong and strong-willed, and like, she wants things her way. So, we kind of have that. We find out that her mother is a psychiatrist, a boss, a CEO. Candace cries when she puts on a wedding dress for the first time because she's like, oh my God, I'm getting married. Ah! And then that mama montage, thank you. We see the mama montage where her mother is like, she's trying on dresses and dress after dress after dress after dress after dress. And her mama is like, I don't see lace. Well, where's the lace? You can get that dress at Walmart. Lace, 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 lace. You want me to pull out my pictures of my dress that was lace and sleek? And then Candace is like drinking, like, good. Like, can I drink alcohol in this dress? It's one of those little boutiques where, they have alcohol or whatever, like, so you can like sip and shop and all of that. So then we're back at Oz, or we're at Oz. I don't think we've been there this episode. And Oz looks like it's on jam, except for there was this one booth that was just empty. But before we got that shot, it was like, okay, Oz is on and popping. And we find out that her husband is 48. I was shocked. Is he 48? Because she said in 40 years, he's going to be 98, 58. Oh, maybe he's 50. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that man was about 70. So anyway, they talking about in 40 years, he says he wants to spend as much time with her, in the next 40 years as possible. And did you talk to your mom? I need you to cut her off completely. And I don't like it. I don't like the look of the white man telling the mixed race child to cut off her black mother completely. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like all the mess and confusion that her mother is in. A lot of times when people file bankruptcy, it's a repeat filing because you're not really addressing the issue. I don't like that. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like him wanting her to cut her mother off completely. I don't like it. It's not a good look. It's not have a good night, Rowdy Chica. Yeah, it's not a good look. I don't like it. And then, she's still, before she met, they say Ashley's like, well, before she met her toxic boyfriend, she was paying all of her own bills and she was taking care of me and my siblings. And then overnight, her life just fell apart. I don't know if I believe that story either. I don't know what's going on with her mother and the relationships. I don't know what her, Ashley's mother's relationship has been, with Ashley's father or with other men. I don't really like Ashley's relationship with her husband. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I really, 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 really did not appreciate him taking her 4 to 6 dresses and throwing them on the couch or on the bed and saying, take your dresses and get out of my house. So I don't like, so I feel like it's a whole thing in here. I'm not liking any of it. Yeah, I'm not liking any of it. So we find out that the party for Monique's husband is 120 people. It's down from, I think she wanted 300 or 400 people before, right? So it's down. It's Chris's party. Chris is in red. He's not wearing his favorite white t-shirt. He said he didn't get the memo, and he's big. He said he had to wear what he could fit. And then neither did Ashley's husband. And then Shasha is there. What's her name? Shanice. But Shasha is there. She comes with Robin. And they came to the party together. And then Shasha and Monique, and they say Shasha's like, me and Monique got along. You can speak. Oh, you trying to practice for your Monday night harassment of people? Be quiet. Just be barefoot. I'm going to be quiet. I'm not making any comments. Shasha. Oh, so Shasha's like, well, shoot, as soon as I met Robin, not Robin, but me and Monique have been cool and getting along, since we met. What's not to like about me? Who wouldn't like me except for Karen? And then Karen comes in, and her husband, and Candace is meeting Karen and Robin. And Robin is very, very dry to Candy S. And Monique and Chris talk to the group, and then Monique is happy, like they talk, like, welcome to the party, thank you for being here. And Monique says that she is happy that she is married to a real man. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with their relationship. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's just happy that she's married to somebody she considers a real man. But it just seems like that seemed like a weird thing for me to say. Like, well, what does it really mean? What's really going on? But maybe she's just happy that she's married to a real man instead of a fake. I don't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand. And then Chris's dad is there. He seems sane. He seems gracious enough and supportive. So that was nice to see. Then we see Mike changing into a white t-shirt. We see Mike talking to Karen and Ray, and he's like, I want to help you. Oh, you wonder what's going on with Monique and her husband too. Yeah, maybe this season they'll, because it's just, we're just so, and like, what's going on with the nanny too? Like, can't she just hire another nanny service? Or I don't know what's going on. But we see, I don't know what the process is. But yeah, something is weird to me. So, Mike is like, oh, I want to help you to Karen and Ray. And Karen is basically like, we're good. My husband has it. And she says in her thing, Mike needs to stay in his lane. Robin, we see her being confronted by Monique, and Monique is like, hey, I thought we were good, but if we're not, let's talk, right? That's what the woman said. Let's talk. If we're not good, let's talk. So then Robin is like, well, I feel like you're paying folks basically to have a fan page to insult me, because there's something on a fan page for Monique where it's like, this is what happens when, stuff get hot at the reunion or something like that. And she's fanning, but she's fanning with her hand. They're like going back and forth and arguing. I'm not paying somebody to run a fan page for me. I have my social media is run by this person. I'm not paying people. People can set up fan pages, and Robin is like, no, those are people you hire and you set them up. Those are your cousins and nephews and nieces and all of this stuff. And Shasha is like, is this some millennial-ish? And I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't understand. Because I thought that the fan pages, the way people, when I'm looking in the comments of like some of these videos, or like listening to people talk about these people in these videos, they seem passionate enough to set up fan pages without being paid. Like they really like love, or seem to like really love and be here for the support of these people, like for the love of Charisse, or for the love of Shasha, or for the love of Monique, or for the love of Robin. They seem, so I don't know if people pay. Do people pay to have fan pages? I didn't know about that. So anyway, and I guess some people pay for followers and some people don't. So maybe some people pay for fan pages. But Robin feels that Monique is paying, and that's all there is to it. She's not going to believe anything else. And then we see like there's like a breakup where, Monique gets up and she's like, I'm not staying here for this stuff. And she walks away. Then Shasha and Robin are talking, and Ashley comes up and she's like, what happened? And we see Robin explaining to Ashley what happened, while Monique is explaining to Karen what happened. And then Ashley is like, well, you are, you're something. She's saying to, Ashley is saying to Robin, like how you're not really nice or whatever, because Giselle told me that you hate me. And Robin is like, well, we're in different worlds. I don't really hate you. But you were trying to get Juan to dance with me. And then you were talking about Juan and da-da-da-da. And then Ashley goes into this whole thing about how Robin deserves more and Juan. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really know enough about their relationship to know, but I could kind of have that opinion. But Ashley seems so passionate about it. Like she is just really like committed to Robin having a different, not being with Juan. And that seems weird to me. And Robin is like, he's with me, and I told him that he should follow his dreams and get his degree and become a coach, and that's what he's doing, and we're together, and he moved back in with me. And Ashley is like, well, is that before or after he was in another country with another woman? And Robin is like, that's after. He's with me because, we're working on our stuff, and it's none of your business. And, and Ashley is like, you don't have to settle, basically. And it's this whole I don't know, maybe Ashley is projecting because she don't want to deal with her relationship and her mama's relationship. Maybe she feels like because of the nature of her mother's relationship with the man that her mother is dealing with, and maybe because of Ashley's relationship with Michael, maybe that's why she is projecting or putting so much energy into this other relationship, because maybe she's trying to realize, hey, I don't have to deal with what I'm dealing with, even though, he got a little money. How much money can he have that makes it where you can't pay you enough for the bull? And then, maybe she feels the same way about her mother, because she seemed like overly, it's too much. And then we see the groups kind of coming back together with Monique and, all of the women. And Monique is fussing out Robin. And then Chris comes up and, he's like, go, Chris, it's your birthday. Go, Chris. And Robin is like, okay, peace, I'm out. And then we see Candace with her Chris, her white Chris. And she's like, he's like, hold my phone. And she's like, you seem a little drunk. And then meanwhile, he's climbing up on the balcony or off the balcony and jumping in the pool. And she says that she feels really embarrassed because, my mother's husband has a poem called Who Brought the White Boy to the Party? But she feels embarrassed because she done brought the white boy to the party with all the black people. And he's acting like your stereotypical drunk white man, boy, person, whatever. So that's like the end of the drama. And then we just see folks, partying and having a good time. It's your birthday. And that's it. That's the end of that episode. Did I miss anything important? Drop it in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of those other good things. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it. And now this is like off of my list for tomorrow. I won't have to worry about doing it. Thank you. Ooh. I enjoy those shows. I think people are fascinating. Why we do what we do and how we figure it out. Yay! So today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. Be you.